legit. Ever since I blew, they all on my. Hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long. I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit. Ex-slick, then hit with the. Back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things, pull out the VIP. Suck to a nut, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.
Okay, Coach. Well, the road ends here. It has been a wild, often unpredictable 2019 season. And now it's time for the greatest spectacle in all of sports. Super Bowl 54 from Miami. You know, this town has played host to 10 Super Bowls in the past. And tonight, we write chapter number 11. And what a matchup we've got. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now a play fake here on first down. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Watch out for Hill on the return. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, it's Cohen. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Check 43. 43. 43. Take it.
Off the toss, Cohen. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. On second and 12, Mahomes. This is caught. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. They'll try to run for it with Cohen. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it first and goal. A chance for the first score of this Super Bowl. Here's first and goal. From the gun, it's Mahomes. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, but it'll be second and goal. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. They'll try and get it over Sherman, the fullback. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9.
Pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52. Here we go, D. Get off the field. Yeah, Mike 52.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. He finds Robinson. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. And officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Here we go.
Mahomes now to throw. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead, it falls down incomplete. So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Mahomes going to throw. It's Kelsey on the ground. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety creeping. 15.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Mahomes to throw once more. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Yellow. I go lane. Watch the run. Watch the run. Kill. Hey, turn it up. Take the yellow. I don't need to. Check Mike 39.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Looking downfield for Kelsey. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, These are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Check, 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 check.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And that's complete to Adams. 23 yards on the play. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Geronimo Allison the target there, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. Here's Rodgers to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we've just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your...
And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Here's Mahomes to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Hey, check 26.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Chris Jones busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. A quick throw out wide caught by Robinson. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 10-yard line.
That's a line! In your face. Hey, 43. Hey, check my alpha. Check my 39. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Attack, attack. See me. You don't want it. Check safety, check safety.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. That one complete to Hill. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Hey, check my 39. Check my command. Right here. 36. Check it back. Switch.
Mahomes looks to throw on third down. They're going deep for Hill. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. On second down now. It's Williams, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On play action, Rodgers. They'll roll him out right. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Emmanuel Ogbah. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Rodgers. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. There he goes, right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already.
That's it, baby. We got work.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback. But you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores. And my goodness, another interception. Darren Lee picks it, and they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
At the 13-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now here's Mahomes. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. He just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
57 colors.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Zadarius Smith providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
Harrison Butler for the Chiefs field goal. A 53-yard attempt.
And the kick by Butker is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to...
And now here is another interception. Picked up by DJ Reed. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
The never tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Chiefs take over first and 10.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire half.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. The safety, Adrian Amos, comes crashing in for the sack.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Throwing on second and long. Mahomes. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Rashawn Gary in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a third and long. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. Third and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39. All day, every day. Yellow. Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39. Squeeze, double. Attack.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Zadarius Smith. That's now back-to-back sacks, and it brings up fourth down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable for Grant. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. From the 45 on second down, Rodgers. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 22 yards there, a first down.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Jim. Back one.
On first and 10, here's Rodgers. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Frank Clark, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on second and long, but now you still have to deal with third and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes. Looking for Kelsey on the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
Hey, Rimley.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. Here comes Grant on the return. So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 49-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
You ain't got nothing.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. Williams loses the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around. And we just saw
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And some room to run now. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense.
That's what I'm talking about, D. That's what I'm talking about.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? To throw is Rodgers. And now here is another interception. picked up by Ron Thornhill, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive. Now that turnover might just about do it. Here, fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
At the 26-yard line.
Yellow, yellow. I'm the blue lady. Watch the run, watch the run. Watch the run. Easy, easy, easy. Check 39. Check Mike 39. Hey, man. 15. Watch twist.
Throwing on second down. Mahomes. Flush to his right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Mahomes now to throw. And it's complete to Kelsey. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he completes it to Cohen. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Yellow. Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 7. Let's go. I'm coming up to you. Hey, check Mike 39.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Steps away to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Mahomes throwing complete there to Robinson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Throwing again on second down. Mahomes. It's complete to Robinson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Rashawn Gary able to drop him for a loss of a couple. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Mahomes going to throw. And an alley to Rob. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And he finds his tight end, Graham.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw again on second down. Rodgers. He'll get this off to Jamal Williams. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hogs and picking passes off. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On third down, Rodgers. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Rodgers going to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 14. Rodgers now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
And that's his 3rd sack, and that ties a Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ealy. 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
We're in those golden high tops as well.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
6 yards. It's 4th down.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
And the Kansas City Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.